Okay, I'm just going to go over a few things with the clips. I think they are really good. Just a few notes. If you could see here how it's frayed out right here. If you can see that. We're going to need to fix that. Also, a couple of them. The seam from whenever you do your first loop here, that seam here should be the piece that is glued onto the clip at the end. I noticed a few of them, you can see the seam coming through right here. See that part should have been on the bottom. That's okay. We'll get it right. I think that's where a lot of the fray is coming from too. The seam here, this should have been the part that was glued to the clip, and it's fraying out all over too. And a few of them needs just a little bit more glue on the bottoms of them. And just trim those just a little shorter there. This little piece here, that center piece, that needs to be trimmed back. Let's see. This is the one that I had done, if you could see that. The lighting's not good in here. But if you can see, it's nice, clean, and flush here. Everything's even. And on this, you can see how that kind of hangs out a little bit. This could have just gone a little bit shorter. That way you didn't have to worry about gluing more. It's fine. There were a few that were kind of crooked, but most of them aren't. So, just watch when you go to put your center on that they're going to be straight and even. And I'll show you that again. See, I don't even know what happened to this bow. I think it might just be glue. If you could just go back over them before you send them and pick the glue off of them, that'd be great. See, you get glue on the front right here. We're not going to be able to use it after that. Because if you pick this off, it's going to blemish up the ribbon, and I'm not going to be able to use it. And again, more glue back here because it's not sticking for some reason. So just a little more glue. And maybe just a little shorter. Okay. Let me make one. This is one of my clips that I've done here. See how it's a little bit shorter? I don't know why mine's coming up shorter than yours. I don't know. But I had the clip ready. And this is going to be our bow. And most of your bows are pretty even too. I really like them. It's really good. This one, this side's a little bit bigger than that side, but I mean, most of them, you did really, really good, and I love them. I'm saying just a few little tricks here, and we're going to have this perfect. So get your glue on here like this, and go on, and you're going to make sure that all of this is even. Make sure all this is lined up perfectly. Okay. And then, you see how that's fraying out already right there? We're going to have to start sealing that right there so it doesn't do that. So just take a lighter to it. You don't want to melt the ribbon, but if you want to just kind of seal it. And actually, if you want to, another thing you can do is, I'm sorry, this is probably going to be long because I'm rambling on. Is when you have your loop here, you could just go on and seal up those two ends, just like that. And that's just going to prevent any of that fraying that we have going on. And again, just line that up. Just a little bit overlap there. Alright, get that glue off. Okay. So now we have our circle. And make sure I'm on the camera. Like I said, most of your bows weren't crooked at all, but I'm just going to go over this. And when you go to push this down, try to make sure all your lines, if you look at it from up top, you want to center it and make sure that your two edges here are flush. If you can see, it's nice and even on both sides. If you can see that. Okay. And this is going to be the bottom of the bow that's going to be applied to the clip. That way it doesn't poke out from your center. And it's just going to look a lot neater. And again, you're going to find your center here. And put a dab of glue. And I'm going to set this in here. And if you could see this, I don't go all the way to the edge with the ribbon. Kind of leave it just a little bit over the middle. You don't have to pick I'm just doing this right now. Okay, and then what I do is I kind of let that dry for a few seconds because that allows me to pull it into a tighter center. Okay, so it should be good and dry. If you see that, it's not going anywhere. It's not budging. And what I like to do is like pull it tight right here. And I hold it here with this hand. And it's still nice and tight on that other side. I put a dab of glue on the top part. And again, you want to make sure these lines match those lines. Make it nice and even so everything lines up. And what I do here is I stop halfway. And I just kind of let that dry for a second. And look how uneven my bow is. Oh Lord. It happens. It happens. And then you trim that. Okay? And then take a lighter to this right here so it doesn't fray. It's a good example of a nice tight center right here. But my bow is hideous. It's really uneven. I put my center too far this way. And then the seam here, this part's going to go onto the clip. Right here. I'm not going to glue it because I'm not going to use this bow because I made it uneven. And if you see, there would be nothing sticking out on the back of anything. Like some of these, you can see this is sticking out right here. So that's just going to eliminate all that. Let's see if I could make one again. Okay, back and forth to get it nice and even here. And see how I'm using my back fingers here to kind of guide it straight down? That way these line up and these line up nice and flush right here. Nice and even. Nice and even right here. So that's how I kind of keep them lined up, is just kind of hold it there, and once you get that center in. And you're always going to leave your seams towards the back of the clip. Get my middle right this time. Okay. And just kind of let that dry for a second. Just take your time with it. There's no rush. Just take your time, and I'm going to pull this a little tight right here. If you can see how I'm kind of just pulling that tight. And then I'm going to pinch it here to hold it nice and tight right there. And then I'm going to take my glue to the top of the bow again. And put it right there in the glue. And just kind of let it set for a second. Let that dry. I'm going to throw this away because I'm not using that. See, even I make mistakes, so it definitely happens. Don't feel bad if you make a mistake. Okay, and then I'm just going to take the lighter to the back here again and just seal that off to make sure we don't have any fray. And then you see how both of my seams here are on the bottom of the clip? That's what we want. And then we're going to find the middle here. I would say probably about right here. About that much glue. You don't want so much glue where it's, you know, coming out the sides and it looks messy. Just a little bit. But enough to hold it. You know what I mean. And again, make sure all this is nice and flush here. And nice and flush here. And there you have it. Another cute little bow. Like I said, yours are really good. Those are just some tips to make them better. And I think we're really going to go far with this. I really love them. Thank you so much.